as a very happy person. He was quite a jolly fellow. It's how I describe people who had that wonderful energy, that he had a very infectious smile. And it was always a pleasure to serve with him because he was approachable, and we'll remember him for that.
When you think of Nompfa, you always think of a person who was so happy, who was so carefree. He lived his life. He portrayed the life that nothing matters except life itself.
The other thing, I arrived at church very early. I could not beat Nompfa when it comes to time. He was a very punctual person. And that's a very difficult trait that we don't find these days.
The kind of work that he did is not a kind of work that a lot of young people would look up to. He used to work with elderly people. Most of him, according to his words, he said they spoke to him. Some of their last encounters here on earth, they were with him, they spent them with him. And he was so delighted about his job, which was a ministry to him, to the people that were living earth. And he said he plays his role by asking if he can pray with them or share the word of God with them. And that is something significant in an age and a generation where people do not even want to be known as Christians. Others are using their jobs to serve God and to serve people.
Nompfa oba amuthochira nabathu oba aratimdia sangwana from the Women of Integrity ministry. We really saw a bubbly child, a child who was loving, a child who was embracing, a child who would also play with our young kids. And so he was just somebody who had a very positive energy, welcoming everybody.
So whenever he comes to the room, he will lead the room with his bubbliness, that beautiful smile that was so infectious.
He would have conversations that you could drive with Nompfa, and he would just keep on telling you stories and stories, and you would be surprised, where does this man get all the stories from? But he would give you so much joy. That's the kind of person who Nompfa was.
Every time we met, we had to speak about our height. He made me taller whenever he was at church because the shortest guy in church was around. And that is the kind of guy that he was. We laughed about almost anything. And he was a type of a person you could easily talk to. Whether it's something to encourage him, whether you are teasing him, whether you are correcting him, it will still be received well with a good attitude. That is the kind of young man that we remember him to be.
I don't remember Nompfa at any moment his face without a smile. All I see is just a broad smile on his face. That's how he was.
He was a man who used to love instruments, a man who loved music, and we appreciated him for that. He was versatile. If you see some of the pictures, you'll see that he liked playing or experimenting with the different kinds of instruments. That will always remain in our memory as the worship team, as the Living Gospel World Mission.